David and Florence were associate professors in the Department of Ancient History. He got married only 2 months ago. Before marriage, both were very good friends for 5 years. It was also his hobby to collect some new information about him by visiting different locations in his project. This time he had taken permission from his head of department to go to Simrapur. After 3 days, both of them left for the journey with their essentials. After a very tiring journey of 20 hours, they got down from the bus at one place. "We'll get Tonga next, sir. We'll sit in it. Simrapur is just 5 kilometers away from here," the conductor told them. Both got off the bus and proceeded in the direction indicated by the conductor. They did not see any Tonga there. Both started walking. After walking for about 2 kilometers on the rough road, he saw a Tonga coming. He stopped her and sat in it. "Why, brother? Are you the only one?" No Tonga was visible far and wide. David asked. "There are only 4 Tongas, Huzur. 2 Tongas are for the village from here and 2 for coming from the village to the road," the Tongaiwala replied. "How many houses are there in the village? What is the total population of the village?" David asked 2 questions at once. "Babuji, there are 30 houses in all and the population is about 150. Whose house do you want to go to?" "We don't want to go to anyone's house. You have to go to the fort," David said. "What?" Saying that, he quickly pulled the reins of the horse. The horse stopped with a loud hiccup. "Hey Babuji, get off the Tonga immediately. I can't take it there," he said, taking both of them off the Tonga. "But why?" Florence asked worriedly. "No one goes there. There are ghosts there. At night, even during the day, no one looks at the other side," the Tonga replied. "We are very tired. We are not going away. Please leave us there," Florence pleaded. "Babuji, I can drop you till the village limits, but it is better if you do not go to the fort. Otherwise the whole village will be in danger because of you," the Tonga said. "What is the matter? Tell us the whole thing," David said. "Ask this from the people of the village only. I will leave you there till then," the Tonga replied. He dropped them under a tree. At a distance of 500 steps from here, houses have been built in that village. There is a fort at a distance of 1.5 kilometers to the south from there. I will tell you once again that do not go there, otherwise everyone will be in trouble," the Tongai said mysteriously. David paid him a Tonga fare. After getting down from the Tonga, both of them went ahead. David looked back. The Tongavla had disappeared. He was startled. While walking from there, both the people reached Simrapur. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The heat of the sun was melting his mind. Both their bodies were burning due to the heat. "Give me some water, man," David said. "The water has run out. It is very hot here. Not even a single tap is visible in the distance," Florence said, showing him the empty water bottle. "Water has to be taken from some house in the village," David said. He knocked on a door. A 12-year-old boy came up. David asked him to drink water. He brought water. After drinking the water, David gave the pot to Florence. As soon as Florence put her mouth to drink water, he saw his disfigured face in the water. Florence jerked the pot away. What happened? David asked nervously. There was something in it. Florence replied, stammering. The boy again brought water in his bottle. Both of them were just sitting after drinking water that they saw 4 Tongas standing in the shadow of trees in the field. David ran up to him. How many people run the Tonga in the village? David asked. We are only 4 people. Tangewale Suresh replied. When we got off the bus, were any of you on the road there? David questioned. Babuji, it is getting very hot. No one comes to our village in so much sunlight. Whoever has to go from the village or come to the village, he comes only in the morning, said Raju, the second Tongaiwala. He was very surprised. Who was that Tonga then? That left us here, he thought. To whom did you come to the village? Suresh asked. Nobody's here. We have come to visit the fort, David said. Hearing the name of the fort, all 4 put their hands on their ears. Babuji, don't go there even by forgetting. Their souls reside there. Whoever went there didn't come back. Tangewale Babulal said. It is all rubbish. If the soul was in the fort, why would it stay there? Why doesn't she come out and come to the village? David questioned. Seeing them there, 2 or 3 villagers also came. My grandfather had told that 50 years ago the priest Varghese of the church had dragged Hisar around the fort, because of which souls cannot cross it and enter the village. Tangewale Jafar said. We are going there. After 2 days, the secret will also be told to you. David said. We are not telling lies. God forbid if something happens, no one will come to save you, said an old villager. If you think you are lying, then ask the father in the church, said another. Is that father still alive? David asked in surprise. No, it's not that father. This is his son Peter Varghese, who is now the priest of the church, Suresh said. Do some Christians also live in this village? David asked. No, no one lives anymore. Lived before, when the country became independent and the British left the country. Then everyone left from here too, Jafar replied. Okay, now we are going to the fort. Saying this, David and Florence started going towards the fort. On the new moon night, the fort turns into a vampire and tomorrow is a new moon.
Friends, subscribe our channel to watch the next part.